How's it going, guys? Nathaniel R here. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can level up from 0 all the way to 200 in your furnishing skill. And just from the different things that I found that has been really good for a lot of XP with lower resource costs and stuff like that. I want to make a note that at the end of the video, I actually left a kind of a short video to show you where you can go and get those resources. So if you're wanting to go and collect that, if you don't have them, you can skip all the way to that end to gather the resources. And then over here, we'll show you guys what you can craft to level that up. All right, so 0 all the way to 50. We are going to be using or crafting the round sunny rug. That's going to be our main thing all the way up until 50. Once we hit 50, we will continue to do the round sunny rug, but we will also add the maple stain, and we'll do that to 56. Now, from 56 all the way to 100, we are going to be swapping out the round sunny rug. Excuse me. And we'll be swapping it with this right over here. I passed it. The cherry sheets bunk bed. And the reason we're swapping out is because the XP you get from it is pretty solid, and the resource cost is not too bad. And like I said, the reason we want to do the maple or the stain is because now this will come into effect and we'll actually be using it. From 56 to 100 is what we're going to be doing this. Both the cherry sheets bunk bed and the maple stain. We'll continue to do both of those all the way up until 100, and that's when we start making some changes. Once you hit 100, we're going to be swapping out the maple stain that we were doing before. We're going to be swapping it out with the oak stain. So we will be doing from 100 all the way to 150. We will be doing the oak stain as well as the cherry sheets bunk bed. And that's going to be your primary thing that you'll focus on. Those two, I definitely say do both of them, especially because you're going to be using the oak stain later on. And the reason we're doing the cherry sheets is because I want to use as little of the materials that we can. And that's because I find that the iron and all that stuff is harder to find on mine server, so that's why we're picking this, plus it gives you good XP. All right, now that we've hit 150, we are going to be making another change. We're going to be switching out the oak stain with the mahogany stain. So at 150, we're hitting the mahogany stain. That's where we'll be switching out the oak stain that we did before. We will continue to do the cherry sheets bunk beds because those are still pretty solid at the time. We will be changing those soon, so you don't have to deal with that anymore, but you'll still be using the cherry sheets, but you'll be swapping out the oak stain with the mahogany stain. And you'll do that up until 171. Now that we've hit 171, this is when we get to change up another thing. And the main thing that we want to switch, and then we'll be doing all the way up until 200, we are going to be swapping out the cherry sheets bunk beds with the mahogany dresser. And from the math that I found, it takes 120 iron ingots for one mahogany dresser, which gives us 15,040 XP, as you can see at the bottom of the screen right here. But to make the same cherry sheets bunk beds, it takes for one mahogany dresser, we can make 12 cherry sheet bunk beds. But it gives us, for those 12, it only gives us 13,536. So you get about 1,000 something more XP if you swap over to this. Plus, you won't have to make as many of the cherry sheet bunk beds. So you'll be saving a little bit more gold doing it this way. But we will continue to do the mahogany stain because we will be using these. So you can choose to just do the mahogany stain if you want, but I personally recommend doing the mahogany stain as well as the mahogany dresser, because you'll be earning XP making the mahogany stain, but then you can actually use the mahogany stain to actually craft these dressers right here. So you can get some insane XP. 15,000 for one is actually pretty fantastic. So that's my personal recommendation. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. A lot of information there. I have so many notes and stuff like that from me going through and trying to find what I personally found to be the most beneficial. I've watched a lot of videos and just seeing what other people have done. And just from what I've seen, this has just been the easier route that you can take, especially with the update and all the changes that they made. a lot of numbers. Long time going through and cutting, calculating and stuff like that. I wanted to make sure that all the stuff that I did put out was something that the majority of people could do, and it wouldn't be too difficult. that, you know, say like I just started off and I don't have all these different schematics for all these different things. These are all the things that I have. I didn't get anything else besides the round sunny rug, which I do think I did buy a while ago. If you can't find it, just go into the trade shop or the trading post and see if you can buy one. I was able, if I did buy one, I remember it being really, really cheap. I do believe I bought it, but that's the only thing that I got. Everything else has just been what I have. But I wanted to make it so simple that anyone else could do it. And I know, I'm sure there's people looking at my furnishing skill and being like, oh, he's only 59. Yeah, I get that. And, you know, I wanted, the whole point of me, what I do is I go and look at what other people have done and look at their things, and I go and calculate the cost of resources and stuff like that, so I can find out information, and then I go and check everything else to find out if that's what I think is, or what I agree with, or if I can find something better. And from what I found from the videos that I've seen, this is what I personally think the best route from 0 all the way up to 200. So hopefully that helps you out. So anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. After I do my outro, I will leave the video at the end so you can go and look at the locations or the resources if you need to do that. But I really appreciate all of you. You're all fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. You're absolutely fantastic. We'll see you guys next time. Peace. All right, now I'm going to show you the location for the different resources that you'll need to gather throughout this whole thing. We'll start off with the fiber. So let's scroll right in. We're going to go to Wyrdwood, and we're going to go left from Wyrdwood. We're going to come over here to the Hermit Shrine in this location. I will leave a picture to show you where they spawn so you can see that, but it's going to be all around this area so you can go and gather all the fiber from that location. All right, now right after that, now I will show you my personal favorite route to go and get all the iron that I usually try and gather. We're going to zoom in. We're going to come down here. I personally come over here to this settlement right here, over in Cutlass Keys. Then I come along this route, go to the right, and I will show you all the stuff, the area that is all the stuff spawns. I like to go all around and make kind of a loop all the way up to the Cutlass Keys place. I can't talk. All the way to the Cutlass Keys place. Then I unload, I break down the ore and turn it into ingots and stuff like that. So I just do a loop. By the time I get all the way up there, then I can do the loop again and just keep rinse and repeat. It's a pretty solid spot. I go there all the time. It's my favorite spot to go and get iron person. All right, now for the Starmetal veins, I will show you exactly where I like to go. I like to go all the way up to Wyrdwood town, and I go to the right. I'll leave another image to show you all the whole location, all the areas that it spawns. But I like to make another loop around there. It does take a little bit longer for those to spawn, so you can go other places, but for me personally, like I did make a loop, I get all that, I fill up pretty quickly, and that usually lasts me a hot second. But right there is pretty much my absolute favorite place to go and run and do that. All right, so now we're gonna do the Orichalcum veins. These ones are, for me personally, are a lot harder to do in my personal server. It always seems like every single time I go and find one, they're usually gone, so it's a pain in the butt. But for me to go and gather the Orichalcum veins, this is my favorite spot. I like to come to Ebonscale Reach, and I come over here to this location right here. There's a fast travel point right here by Lover's Shrine, which is nice. And I'll leave an image to show you kind of those little spawns right there. Pretty solid. Usually, majority of the time that I go and try and get it, you know, the Orichalcum, they're usually there. So it's nice for me personally. Like I said, and you know, sadly it does change server to server, but you should be able to get those. And then I'll come right down here to the water. So after I finish up there, I just come straight down here and I gather these ones, and I can go and I'm pretty much set for my Orichalcum. And that's a pretty solid spot. All right, now for the next one, my favorite spot to go to get the Wyrdwood. You can get a lot of the resources pretty quickly. Not too bad spot. I actually made a video, and I will leave a thing up here on the screen or down in the description where you can go and level up the skill, as well as a pretty solid spot to go get it. But we'll come over here to Wyrdwood. We come right down here. So it goes straight down from Wyrdwood all the way down right here. There's the Alchemist Shrine. This whole section right here, this will have these dogs that you could take out, and you can harvest them pretty quickly. So you use an axe on it actually instead, and you can break and get a lot of Wyrdwood from that. It's a fantastic way. You get tons and tons of Wyrdwood, so it's super easy to go and gather that resource. Super easy. But you can get all of that right there through these the wolves or dogs, I don't know what you call them. In this location, not too bad, and it's a pretty easy way to do that. All right, now for the Ironwood, where we are going to go and cut all of our trees down for the Ironwood. This is a location that I like to go. There's a lot of Ironwood that spawns there, so it's pretty easy to go and get. Where we're going to go is up here to Eden Grove. We are going to zoom in, and I will leave a picture to show you all the kind of spawn points for those, so you can go and gather those resources. But that is a pretty solid spot to go and get all that, and there's a pretty nice density of them, if that makes sense. But yeah, hopefully that helps you out and you get some good information that you're able to find those resources, and that is beneficial to you. But anyways, guys, thank you. Have a good one. Peace.